just have fun. It's a game. It's not meant to be serious. I know lots of people take it serious, but you're going to play your best when you're having fun. If you're thinking too much, you're just going to dig yourself into a hole. Just have fun, play relaxed. That's all you can do.
Welcome to episode 371 of Alberta Dugout Stories podcast. I'm Joe McFarland. What a busy couple of weeks it's been in the baseball world, hasn't it? A big thank you to everyone who's taken the time to listen to the extra shows and read the extra stories we've put together, particularly to celebrate the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame's Class of 2026 announcement and the Baseball Canada roster unveiling for the World Baseball Classic. We loved bringing you all that extra content, but we'll be getting back to our regular cadence again next week, particularly when it comes to Thursday drops of new episodes of this show. It's been a while since we last did a quick news check from around Alberta and Saskatchewan, so let's get to it. The big one, of course, is that the college baseball season is underway. Like we did last year, we'll give a few shout-outs each week to some outstanding performances. We know we can't get to them all because there are usually so many, but we'll do our best to mix it up every week. Among the highlights this time around, a nice start to the season for High River's Turner Zdunich. The Dawgs Academy alum picked up 3 hits, including 2 homers and 8 at-bats at Colby Community College in a 4-game set against Western Oklahoma State College. He'll be a guest on the show in just a few minutes. Elsewhere, Dawgs Academy alum Benito Bonilla is off to a torrid start with Vernon College. He had a 2-homer game against Redlands Community College and is now hitting .389 with 6 RBIs through 5 games. Vauxhall Academy grad Kyle Yip also got in on the 2-homer game fun last week with the UBC Thunderbirds. He also drove in 5 in a win over Nelson University in Arizona. He's hitting .286 through 9 games, tacking on another homer and 4 RBI. AHP Academy alum Dom Morgan picked up his first collegiate homer with Crowder Community College. And a tip of the cap to Munster's Merrick Yeager, who picked up his first collegiate win in Hudson Community College's 5-2 victory over Des Moines Area Community College. Yeager went 3+, allowing 2 runs on 3 hits while striking out 8. Friend of the show and teammate Leo Griffin of Dawgs Academy also homered in that contest. On the commitment front recently, a quartet out of Saskatchewan as Axel Flodell of Going Yard Academy is going to McCook Community College, while teammate Emmett Gates will join Otero College. At Barry's Academy, Cade Britz is signed on with Colby Community College, while Rhett Anderson heads to Southeast Community College. In Alberta, Landon Ohawa of the Calgary Bucks signs on with Wenatchee Valley College. Jason Juwan Oak from the Black Gold 47s in Leduc commits to Southeast Arkansas College, and Beck Button of the Weber Wildcats joins Indian Hills Community College. A shout out to Spruce Grove native and Vauxhall Academy product Easton Katura, who showed out in a big way at the Prep Baseball Super 60 event recently. He set an event record with a visual edge score of 91.94. He may very well be one to watch heading into the MLB draft this summer. On the pro side of things, congratulations to St. Albert native and friend of the show Jaden Babiak, as he's signed on with the Canadian Baseball League's London Majors after a successful collegiate career with Valley City State University and with the Medicine Hat Mavericks. Congratulations as well to Everett Deering of Edmonton on being named Baseball Alberta's Gordie Wilson Memorial Award winner. The recognition goes to someone who exemplifies leadership, athletic ability, and community involvement. A tip of the cap to Renee Clark at Red Deer Minor Baseball. After 15 years of service with the association, she's resigning from her role as GM to prioritize her health and necessary treatments. Clark has been integral in guiding the organization through growth from 240 players to well over 900. She was also a driving force in bringing Challenger Baseball to Red Deer. She'll be sticking around to help with the transition, which they hope will happen sometime around the end of April. And finally, in case you've been living under a rock, pitchers and catchers have started rolling into big league spring training facilities over the last few days. Full squad workouts will begin for most teams sometime between Sunday and Tuesday. Then the first spring training games, believe it or not, get going next Friday, February 20th. Circle the calendars there. On to this week's guests, and we head back to the college ranks for a trio of newcomers to the show. We'll start with the aforementioned Turner Zdunich. The High River native and Dawgs Academy product had an outstanding freshman season at Colby Community College, hitting .407 with 9 homers and 57 RBI in 55 games. He also went 3-4 on the mound with a 4.17 ERA in 14 appearances. That performance was good enough to earn him a spot on the ADS All-College team and the Canadian Baseball Network's All-Canadian third team. If you recognize his last name, it's because his brother Tucker was a regular visitor here on the show, so it was nice to catch up with the younger bro and the Saskatoon Berries utility man. Turner, thanks so much for joining us here on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
What a year you had back in 2025. Last spring, both at the plate and at the dish. When you look back at it with 2020 hindsight, what was working for you?
Yeah, I just stuck to my approach to the plate, and on the mound, I just got help from coaches and everything, and I worked a lot on the mound, so that helped me throughout the season, so that's good.
Mm-hmm. Did you surprise yourself at all with how well things went?
Yeah, like first coming into college, I was pretty nervous. I wasn't expecting a whole lot of myself, but I definitely had goals. And I would say once I got comfortable, I wasn't that surprised, but at the beginning, I definitely was.
When you look back on the year you had, any favorite memories or highlights of the college year?
Yeah, there's a couple plays that I remember I really enjoyed, and other highlights are just stuff with teammates and stuff throughout the year, but not a whole lot.
Mm-hmm. You were named Division Freshman of the Year, and you made a couple of All-Star teams along the way. You were named to the Canadian Baseball Network All-Star team as an example. When you look back on it, what did those kinds of accolades mean to you?
Yeah, of course, I like that stuff, but it's not the meaning of this all. Like, I do like putting my name out there and everything, and I'm proud to be on those teams, and I worked hard for that. So it's good. It means a lot to me.
Heading into the off season, obviously you have those conversations with the coaches and trying to get yourself set up for a good season here. What did you focus on during the winter to make sure that you had an even bigger 2026?
One of my main focuses was just getting a lot stronger, just not having to do as much of the plate and just letting my muscles do the work and everything. So
you mentioned that the fact that you entered last year with some goals and expectations. Now that you've got that year under your belt, do you have some renewed goals and expectations heading into the new season here?
Yeah, I jot down goals and everything, but I just want to continue, just play my game and stick to my approach and everything, and just worry about us and our team. So yeah, it should be good.
Speaking of that team, how excited are you now that you've been able to see what the Trojans are going to be bringing to the table in 2026?
Yeah, I'm very excited. We got a great team this year, and I think we'll be one of the top contenders on the west side here, so I'm very excited.
I'm always curious from a personal perspective, the guys who are able to do both things well, like you did this past spring, how is it that you're able to maintain that focus and be able to keep the training up, so to speak, when it comes to both the hitting side and the pitching side?
Yeah, it's a lot of help from our coaches, and just having like a schedule and just seeing how our bodies feel, and whatever's working, they stick to and help us a lot. So that was definitely one thing that I had success with, and they helped me. So
is there an expectation in your mind as to specializing at some point down the line? Or are you game to do both for as long as they let you?
Yeah, I'm definitely game to do both as long as they let me. I'd say I'd become more of a hitter, but yeah, whatever works.
Absolutely. I love getting into the baseball story. You're originally from High River. How'd you get into baseball in the first place?
Well, growing up, that's just what my family did. All my brothers and I played hockey and baseball, and then once we got older, we just chose one, and I enjoyed baseball more, so I just chose baseball. And yeah, that's my dad played growing up, and that's how we really got into it. So
obviously we've heard from Tucker on a few different occasions here on the show. What's that sibling rivalry like? Because there's 4 of you that are going at it, aren't there?
Yeah, there is. I wouldn't say our sibling rivalry is that intense. We're very competitive with each other and make each other better, but I think our family is more based on just helping each other out and just trying to make each of us better than the other one. And I've definitely learned a lot from all my brothers, and I really appreciate them with all their help they've given me over the years. So I wouldn't say it's much of a rivalry, let alone just a brotherhood, I guess.
How big was Tucker in terms of preparing you for that next step in the journey? He's obviously gone through it, had his successes. Was there anything that really kind of sticks out to you that made you go, this is going to make it a little bit easier down the road here?
Yeah, Tucker gave me tons of advice, and it was all very helpful. Lots of school-wise stuff and ball stuff as well. Just like getting me comfortable and everything, and just kind of giving me the expectation there is in college and how things kind of work. And it definitely helped me. And yeah, just baseball stuff. He's always taught me like what to have as an approach and what worked for him, and really just giving me advice on what works. So
You're a Dawgs guy as well. Looking back on it, what did that program mean to you in your development as a ball player and also as a human being?
Yeah, the Dawgs is great. They turned us into great young men over there. So we worked hard. That's compared to other high schools that I've heard of. The Dawgs are definitely elite and top of the game, I'd say. So
Absolutely. Looking back on the young career to this point, any favorite memories or moments that stand out to you to make you go, man, I can't believe I get to do this?
just playing in front of crowds is pretty phenomenal. I think meeting fans and everything, and just people coming up to, like, they're rooting for you and your team. And I think that's pretty surreal. So,
Speaking of crowds, you got to suit up with Saskatoon Berries last summer as well. What was that experience like?
yeah, it was pretty exciting. It was definitely a new experience, but I had a lot of fun and met some great people there. So, yeah, it was really fun.
Fantastic stuff. We've talked a lot about the good stuff. Obviously, we all know baseball's a game of failure, and I like asking this question as well. As what's maybe that one big hurdle or that major obstacle that you've had to overcome over your career where you've gone like, hey, I'm really proud of myself that I was able to do that?
Yeah, in my junior year of high school, I got 3 different arm injuries at 3 different times, and it kind of put me out for a while. I wasn't able to pitch. I just DH'd the whole season pretty much. I had a lot of recovery that year, and I just worried about strengthening up my arm so that wouldn't happen again. But yeah.
Lots of learnings from that, obviously. A few fun ones before we let you go here, Turner. First off, what's your walk-up tune?
My walk-up tune is "Sleeping on the Blacktop" by Coulter Wall.
All right, a little country tune. Always a fan favorite, I'm sure, around these parts for sure. What's your go-to pregame meal?
I usually like to keep it light before games. I do usually like a peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I usually have a couple of those, and then maybe a protein shake and a banana, and then lots of water and Gatorade. So
nothing beats a good PB&J for sure.
Yep.
And finally, any superstitions, any crazy things that you have to do before a game to make sure your mind's in the right spot?
I usually, not really superstitions, but I do have a routine depending on what position I'm playing that day and everything and how BP goes. But I usually like to stick to a similar routine every single day. Just gets me in the right mindset, I feel. And I do have superstitions when it comes to like batting stance and stuff like that, but not a whole lot.
Very cool. Final 2 for you before we let you go. First off, for those young kids who are just starting out on their baseball journeys and they want to get to where you're at now, maybe you're seeing them at Dawgs Academy or whatever, and you want to impart some advice on them. What are those words of advice that you'd love to give to them?
I'd just say have as much fun as you can, meet as many people as you can, make as many friends, and just have a lot of fun. And baseball's not everything. Like, I played multiple sports growing up. I loved it. And I think that's important for every kid to do.
For sure. And the final one, what does the game of baseball mean to you, Turner?
Baseball means everything to me. It is the main thing in my life. What brought me down to college and everything, and what has taught me many life lessons, I would say, and making me a better person, and just teaching me how to go through life, I guess I'd say. And yeah, baseball definitely means a lot to me. So
Absolutely. Well, Turner, really appreciate you taking the time. Congratulations on all the success you've had to this point. Continued success in 2026 and beyond. And again, thanks so much for joining us here on the show.
yeah, thank you very much.
Sticking in Alberta, we head to Northeastern Community College to catch up with infielder Hudson Hoy. The Spruce Grove native also had a great 2025, hitting .308 with 8 homers, 45 RBI, and 14 stolen bases in 53 games to join Zdunich on our ADS All-College team. The Parkland Twins and Baseball Alberta Canada Cup alum is looking to be a more vocal presence in his sophomore campaign. Hudson, thanks so much for joining us here on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Another college baseball season is upon us. How excited are you to get things rolling?
I'm super stoked. I can't wait.
Coming off a stellar 2025 as well at Northeastern. The numbers speak for themselves, but I'm curious, how are you feeling about your freshman season?
I was pretty happy with how I did, especially because it's such an unknown kind of thing going from high school to college baseball. But yeah, our team culture and everything like that was great, and it just allowed me to just grow and perform at a pretty high level. So I'm pretty happy about it.
How was that transition from high school to the college ranks? Because you hear talk to different guys, and some say, oh yeah, I was totally prepared. And some guys are like, man, I thought I knew, but I had no idea. Where were you on that spectrum?
I think I've never been at the kind of point where I've had to wake up at a 7 a.m. after going to bed at midnight kind of thing on a road trip before, but after the first couple, you kind of get pretty used to it. And once you get to know the boys, it becomes a lot easier, right? So you're all in it together, and you just go and have fun.
What was working for you when you look back on it and look at your approaches and that kind of thing? What do you look back on and go, okay, that was the secret sauce kind of thing?
I really prioritize sleep, to be honest with you, and going to bed at the same time and waking up at the same time was super important. And then working with coach, obviously, with my swing and stuff, definitely allowed me to just go and perform and not worry about many things. So, yeah.
Did you find yourself making a ton of adjustments through the course of the year? Or was it one of those things where, you got there for a reason, so let's just fine tune a couple of things?
Yeah, I find that during the season, making big adjustments is never a good place to be. And so it's always a daily thing and kind of working on yourself and a workshop kind of thing where you're just making little adjustments and trying to feel out things and see what works and what doesn't. So
looking back on the year, any highlights or favorite memories from that freshman year?
I think I hit a walk-off against Otero. That was an awesome feeling. And then obviously winning region championships, what more can you ask for? And getting to experience a district championship. So looking forward this year to get back to those spots and excel from there.
Mm-hmm. So you head into the off season. What were you working on to make sure that you're hitting the ground running heading into this spring?
Learning from last year, I think defensively, obviously we're not allowed to practice or not able to practice outside when we're at home during the winter break. So I've did a lot more defensive reps this year than last. I feel like that allowed me to just hop right into our season starting and be there for my pitchers defensively. And obviously the swing is still there. You're allowed to still do swings and stuff when we're at home. So being much more intentional about everything that I did while I was at home kind of allowed me to get back into the swing a lot easier.
Fantastic. Any goals or expectations of yourself going into this year?
Obviously the first and foremost is a repeat region championship for our team. I'm more of a team guy than anything, so a lot is team oriented, but just having success and having a great culture in our team, I think is super important. And for myself, just putting myself in a good spot to get recruited to go to the next level, on the 4-year level. So yeah, super excited for the year to come, and those are kind of the things I'm really looking forward to.
Do you find yourself thinking about, okay, now that I'm the second year guy, I got to impart some wisdom on some of those freshmen and that kind of stuff? Do you hope to maybe take more of a leadership role this time around?
Yeah, I have a freshman, a shortstop, same position as me, and I love being there for him and kind of helping him through things. And obviously that's what you're supposed to do, right? So allowing to teach kind of the younger guys how we roll and what little things I picked up from my year last year, I think it's super important. And we obviously have quite a few sophomores because we were mostly all freshmen last year on our team. So it's been pretty easy to kind of help each other out. And I think that's going to lead us to quite a bit more success this year. So
Absolutely. Let's get in your baseball past here a little bit here, Hudson. You're a product of Spruce Grove. How'd you get into ball in the first place?
Watching the Jays when I was little, I think my first year of organized baseball was when I was 12, and my parents got me a Troy Tulowitzki glove from Walmart. I remember it, and a rebounder net, and I'd just go out in our front yard and I'd throw it off the net all day long, and would do little games with my little brother, and fell in love with it. So it's been all up from there.
So how glued to the TV were you in October and November if you were a Jays fan in 2015, 2016?
Yeah, I still every time I see the Bautista bat flip on Instagram or any clip of that, I just still get goosebumps, and it just brings me such happiness watching that over and over again. So
I bet. Were you still glued to the TV for this last run?
Oh man, were we ever? I mean, all the Canadian guys kind of got together and made some bets with American guys, which obviously we had to pay out, unfortunately. But we had another teammate who was transferred from Seattle Junior College last year. So the Seattle games were really, and we were all on the edge of our seat watching those.
I bet. Were you a multi-sport guy growing up, or was it all baseball all the time from the get-go?
My dad really prioritized for us to as many sports as possible, just to allow you to be the best athlete you can be. And then when you're the best athlete you can be, you can kind of pick and choose what you love the most, which obviously was baseball for me. But I played a lot of volleyball growing up, a lot of basketball. Those are kind of the two big ones that kind of you get from school. But soccer, a little, right? And then obviously hockey. You're Canadian, so you got to dabble in some hockey. And that's probably my favorite sport to watch to this day. So,
Flames fan or Oilers fan?
Oh, Oilers all day. I wish I was better at hockey, but
as a Flames fan, I won't agree with you, but I have respect for it. So, when you look back on the young career to this point, do you have any favorite memories or moments that really stand out to you where you really had to take that step back and go, man, I can't believe I get to do this?
I was really fortunate to be on a lot of Team Alberta's, the Canada Cup being one of them. Just an unbelievable experience, and I really loved it. And then we won the national championship my senior year of high school, with the Red Deer Braves. I got picked up, and it was such an amazing experience, and I'll never forget it for sure.
I've talked to a few guys from that team and had them on this show, and I want your perspective on it. What made that team so good in your eyes, especially as somebody a bit of an outsider who gets recruited to join that Red Deer squad?
Yeah, I felt like I fit in immediately. A lot of those guys just loved each other and played for each other, and I could sense that even playing against them. Like, I got along with a lot of them just playing against them, and I just understood that they all got along and they just loved to play baseball. And so I was like, hey, I love to play baseball too. Let's go do this thing. And it was super enjoyable the whole time. So
that is awesome. Speaking of, you also mentioned you've repped Alberta a few times over the course of your career. What did that mean to you to be able to put on the Bighorns logo or the Team A on the cap?
Honestly, to be honest with you, I was shocked to be on Team Alberta in the first place. I felt super blessed, and it was just an amazing opportunity. And you always dream of playing for Team Alberta. My dad played football growing up, and he was on Team Alberta his whole way through high school, and so you obviously want to be just like your dad. And I ended up doing it in a different sport, but yeah, it made me super proud to just be an Albertan and live up to what my dad was doing too. So, yeah.
Very cool. Obviously, baseball is a game of failure too, so I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about some of the challenges. What's that one hurdle or that one thing that you've been able to overcome where you went, hey, I'm pretty proud of what I just did?
Like I said earlier, defensively last year as a freshman was really like a struggling point for me. And I think that this fall kind of was super good for me mentally. Like I went out there and just had success every time I touched the field on defense, and I feel like that just instills confidence on your pitchers and on your teammates as well. Just whenever you're a rock back there, they're at short, and you're making every play, you're controlling the defense. It just allows everything to run more smoothly. So I learned that in my freshman year, and I'm looking forward to just being that rock this year.
Fantastic. A few fun ones before we let you go, Hudson. First off, you mentioned Tulo, you mentioned Bautista. Maybe it's somebody different. Who's your baseball idol?
I don't know if I have one, to be honest. There's so many to pick from. Bobby Witt's obviously one of them because he's a shortstop and he just plays the game with such athleticism and just plays his heart out every day. So that would probably be him more than anyone else.
He's a pretty good one. When you're out on the field, do you have any superstitions? Maybe it's pregame, maybe it's during the game, maybe it's before an at-bat or before every inning in the infield. Is there something you have to do?
You know what? I'm a pretty religious guy, and so praying before the game with my teammates, just getting the mindset that this game is for the Lord and our identity is through Him and not through anything else is really important to me. And to draw the cross on the ground before I step in the box and stuff like that. And so those are probably my two superstitions, if you will. But I think a lot of it's just reminding me of my faith and what I'm really playing for. So
gets you grounded a little bit too, which is never a bad thing. And finally,
yeah, absolutely.
What's your walk-up tune? What's that song that you have to go up to the plate with?
Man, I've been struggling to find one this year. I think I've settled with Borderline by Tame Impala. But I've had so many over the years, like it's kind of hard to pick one exactly that I've really felt like has been me. I'm still looking for it, to be honest with you. So.
Well, if you have any suggestions as listeners, message me and I'll send them over to Hudson and he can take a listen afterwards. The last two, for those young kids who are from Spruce Grove or maybe from Red Deer, around Alberta, around Canada, and they're looking at you, listening to you and going, man, I want to be like him one day. What's that one piece of advice or those words of wisdom you'd love to impart upon them?
I think learn to love the workouts. I think everything comes from the weight room, and so being able to love what you're doing in there and look forward to it during the day is kind of where a lot of the success is going to come from. Obviously, during the winter time, you're not going to get to do much else, and so building as much muscle and as much athletic ability kind of thing during the winter and during the months where you're not going to be able to touch the field is really important for you to just go and progress the next year during the season.
For sure. And the final one, what does the game of baseball mean to you, Hudson?
I'd say without baseball, I don't know where I'd be, to be honest with you. Baseball is a big piece of my life, and I want to stay like that for a long time. So I think that's what it means to me.
As do we. Well, congratulations again on that outstanding freshman season. Best of luck here in 2026 and beyond. And again, thanks so much for joining us here on the show, Hudson.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
And we'll wrap things up this week by heading east to Saskatchewan to introduce you to Kleysen Gabruck. The Martensville product and Going Yard Academy alum is entering his third year of college baseball, but his first at Campbellsville University. He's coming off 2 solid seasons at Williston State College, where he hit .341 with 4 homers, 37 RBI, and 15 stolen bases to earn himself a spot on the SDS All-College team. In full disclosure, this conversation happened in late January, right after a major winter storm hit Kentucky and several other states. Kleysen, thanks so much for joining us here on the show.
Perfect. Thanks for having me.
What a year you had in 2025 down at Williston State. Let's go back in time a little bit. As you look back on that 2020 hindsight, how are you feeling about your last season down there?
I feel pretty good. I was proud of myself for being able to do what I did, have the high batting average that I had, and even make an all-conference player. So I was proud of myself for making it.
What did that mean to you to be called all-conference like that? Like, that's something you guys all kind of work towards, but that's got to be something special.
Yeah, it means the world. Yeah, it was cool to have my name all over the school and all over the conference. I was a known player, so it was pretty cool to see myself out there.
What was working so well for you as you look back on it? Was there anything in particular that you can nail down and go, okay, that's why it was feeling so good?
I'd have to say it was just like my approach to the game. I just went out there and I just had fun. I quit trying so hard and I was just out there playing baseball like it was wiffle ball in the backyard. Have fun, play the game.
Absolutely. When you look back on your 2 years down at Williston, any favorite memories or personal highlights that you take away from that time?
Oh, I'd say the Arizona trips. We always went down to Arizona for like 2 weeks and we'd play 20 games in 2 weeks. It was a grind, but it was great. Great experience. We played lots of good teams, lots of good baseball. It was great. Loved it.
How special is that school in your eyes, given, I mean, there's a lot of Canadians who go down to Williston and they get their kind of cup of coffee down there before, like you, go to the next level. What is it about that school that really kind of stands out for you?
For me, I'd say it's the coach, Mason Prisbill. I'd say he does a really good job at recruiting guys and then building them up to go to the next level. I think he does a great job at it. I thank everything for him for what he's done for me. Great coach.
Heading into the off season, you obviously wanted to focus on getting yourself even better, so you hit the ground running going into Campbellsville. What were you working on to make sure that that things keep on the up and up?
My biggest thing is my bat. If I can hit like I know I can get myself in the lineup, whether it's anywhere in the field. It doesn't really matter.
Do you have any expectations or goals of yourself heading into the new season here?
My biggest one is I'd love to bat above 300. I know coming down here, the pitching is definitely going to be a little better, as I've learned from having inter-squad games against our team. But my bat, I want to bat 300 at least. So that would be great if I could accomplish that.
And maybe get out of the snowstorm too.
Yes, that too. That would be great. Getting outside and playing on the field would be awesome.
You and I were having a good chat before we went on air, and it's just amazing what a little bit of snow and a whole lot of rain in the course of a weekend can do for the conditions and kind of the expectations a little bit about the baseball season for sure. So
yeah,
you went down there to escape that, and yet here we are, both with snow on the ground. It's awful.
Yep. Stuck inside. Yep.
Unbelievable. Obviously, you and I were kind of chatting about the fact, too, that you have a bunch of Canadians on that Campbellsville squad, too. So there's got to be a bit of a cool camaraderie that comes with that.
Yes, it is. There's quite a few. I actually got lucky enough that one of my roommates is from Canada, and he was with me in Williston. So it's good to have quite a few Canadians, not going to a place where you're just all alone almost. So it's nice coming down to a place where there's lots of Canadians and we all kind of get along and come from the same place.
How excited are you for this team as a whole and how well you think you'll do this spring?
I'm very excited. I think we have a very strong team. I think our pitching rotation's pretty deep. And I think our starting we're a solid 9. So I think as long as no injuries happen, we should be a good team, and hopefully we can make a run for it this year.
Looking forward to keeping tabs on it. Let's switch gears a little bit here, Kleysen, and talk about your baseball origin story. You're originally from Martensville. How'd you get into the game in the first place?
My mom was a super big softball player when she was younger, and she was actually a really good player. And I don't know, kind of just grew on me. I was super into hockey and super into baseball, but as I got older, I was like, baseball's the thing I want to do most. So I started diving into that a little more. And, well, I went to Dawgs Academy, and I started to love it and love it even more every day. So it kind of just grew on me as I grew up.
Do you remember that moment where it kind of flipped for you? Because, I mean, the prototypical thing for a Canadian is, I'm going to play hockey, and you played both. Do you remember that moment where it kind of switched for you, where you went, okay, I'm all in on baseball?
Yeah, I would have been in grade 10, and I had to decide. At that point, I knew I was like, I either need to decide baseball or hockey, and I knew right away, I was like, it's baseball all the way. I love hockey, but baseball has always been my number one.
Whose poster was up on your wall?
Poster? I actually don't even know. Oh, we had Jose Bautista was always in our house. I always walk past that one.
That's a good one. I mean, the bat flip, who cannot love that, right?
It was actually the bat flip picture.
Lucky guess, I gotta say. Looking back on the young career to this point, do you have a favorite memory or a moment that stands out to you as being one of the favorites, where you just kind of had to take that step back and go, man, I can't believe I get to do this?
My favorite one would either be when like I always was traveling playing with the going yard team, so I always went down to Phoenix. Those trips were always a blast. Or when I was in my senior year, actually, and like I wasn't not exactly young, but like my senior year, we did a collegiate trip, and being able to play against like the next level was unreal. That's when I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do.
I'm glad you mentioned going yard because I wanted to go there next. Looking back on it, what's that program mean to you and your development, not only as a ball player, but also as a human being?
Oh, they mean so much to me. They helped me develop as a ball player and as a man. I couldn't have done it without them, I don't think.
Also, we know baseball is a game of failure, and so I like asking this question is, looking back on it, what's been the biggest challenge or hurdle you've had to overcome where you've had to kind of take that step back and go, okay, I'm proud of myself for being able to get over that?
My senior year at Williston, I went 0 for 22 my first time out on the field, and then I did sit for most of our Tucson trip, and I was like, okay, I just got to get out of the baseball shoes and just relax a little. I know I can do it. So I was just like, need to take a step back. And then later in the Tucson trip, I came alive and then I was batting again. So I was happy about that.
It's amazing how a stretch like that can really kind of impact you in different ways. Like some can mope around and kind of go, oh, woe is me. And yet you took a different approach. Was there a mindset change there? What was it that kind of made you have that eureka moment?
I think it was more of a fact that I just needed to take a step back and like I just needed to play the game. I think the first few weeks there when I was struggling, I went 0 for 22. I think I was just trying so hard to prove myself because I wanted that all conference. So I just needed to take a step back and relax and just play baseball.
Mm-hmm. A few fun ones before we let you go here. First up, what's your walk-up tune?
Walk-up tune is Follow God by Kanye West. It's always been.
Always been and always will be kind of thing?
Yep. Hopefully, apparently our head coach isn't a huge fan of walk-up songs here because he's a little old school, so I don't know if we get him.
We're going to find out soon enough.
Yeah.
Any superstitions, anything you got to do either pre-game or maybe when you head up to the box, what is it that maybe you got to do every single time?
I don't really have one before a game, but I would say I do have one every time I step into the batter's box. I tap the far side of the plate, tap the inside of the plate, and then like I lean back, like I sit down into my stance and like lean back before the pitcher is getting ready to go.
It's funny how we're all like creatures of habit to a certain extent, right?
Yeah, I've always done it.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I've done it every time.
Interesting. And finally, what's your go-to pregame meal?
Ooh, I'd have to say chicken Alfredo.
Oh,
can't go wrong with that.
A solid one indeed. I'm a big fan too. Two more before we let you go here. First off, for those young kids starting out in their baseball journeys or going to going yard, or maybe you see them around the ballpark as you're playing down in Campbellsville and they're looking up to you. They want to get to where you're at now. What's that one piece of advice or those words of wisdom you want to impart upon them?
Just have fun. It's a game. It's not meant to be serious. I know lots of people take it serious, but you're going to play your best when you're having fun. If you're thinking too much, you're just going to dig yourself into a hole. Just have fun, play relaxed. That's all you can do. And
you certainly lived that out in spades over the course of the last couple of years for sure, Kleysen.
Yeah.
Final question for you. It's one we ask everybody here on the show. What's the game of baseball mean to you?
Oh, it means the world. I don't think I could live without it. Baseball has always been a part of my life, so I don't know what I'd do without it. I think I'd be pretty lost.
Well, luckily, we don't have to worry about that at all. Kleysen, congratulations on all the success you've had to this point. Continued success in Campbellsville this spring and beyond. And again, thanks so much for joining us here on the show and shedding some light into your journey.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks again to Turner Zdunich, Hudson Hoy, and Kleysen Gabruch for joining us this week, and thanks to all of you for downloading and listening. If you like this or any other episode, make sure to leave us a rating and review on your podcast app, as those actions help boost the algorithm and get us some more exposure as we head towards the baseball season. A tip of the cap, as always, to our Platinum supporters for all they do for us and for the game in our province. The Okotoks Dogs, Under the Lights Sports and Entertainment, and the Western Canadian Baseball League have been fundamental in helping grow our reach and expand our storytelling efforts. If you'd like to join our roster, head to albertadugoutstories.com/supporters. Until next time, thank you for all of your support, online, on social, and on air, of Alberta Dugout Stories.